who's standing by with Immortals' coolest cat.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I am joined by the Immortals cat, as we had quite a cat fight between Immortals and NRG just a few minutes ago. I'm joined by Reignover after their victory 4-0 now, and 24 consecutive victories for Reignover and Huni in the regular split. So these guys just keep mounting wins. Congratulations on that little feat. I have to ask you, towards the end of the game, Reignover, things were looking a little scary as you tried to get into the base. What was going on? What were the communications for the team?
What do you mean going on the base?
When you were trying to break the base, and then you saw Impact come in, and Impact started fighting onto Wild Turtle, and what was kind of the communication when things got scary?
I don't remember that situation. What do you mean?
No worries, no worries, no worry. We'll make it simpler. What were you guys kind of thinking as you were trying to get into the base, when you were trying to beat NRG?
Like at the end of the game, like we pretty much know that if we just engage, if we fight, we're gonna win the game. So like they just stayed in a bit, and then there was no tower, so we just dived them. So I think we pretty much everyone knew that we're gonna win the game.
Right, yeah. Super simple. You guys were going in very strong the whole time. And I actually want to kind of talk about that. Where's the communication on the team coming from? Who's leading? Who's calling the shots mostly?
I think like for our team, like there's like we do our communication like for like everyone, but like certain guys like are like good at some kind of certain thing. Like for example, like someone is good at calling Nash, someone is good at like TP engage, someone is good at like the rotation. So like everyone like give their opinion, and then if everyone just talk each other, and then we just choose what like everyone thinks that is the best, you know.
It seemed to be working out well. Everybody's saying that the team has clicked. You guys work together amazingly. You're 4-0 now. Reignover, do you think Immortals can go undefeated in the NA/LCS?
When I was playing Athletic, like when I was playing LCS match, like even though like we were behind, like we just think like, oh, I don't think we're gonna lose this game, you know, because enemy was not making so much plays, and then we just had to wait until they make mistake, and then I feel pretty much same at here at NA, and then like even though like we were behind, like even yesterday against TSM, like we didn't really feel that we were gonna lose the game, even though we were super behind. And then we just wait until they make mistakes. So like I think it's gonna be pretty much. I just feel pretty much same.
Okay.
When I wasn't at Fnatic, so I think maybe.
Well, you guys make it look so easy. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck in the rest of the season as you guys head on 4-0, the only team now in the NALCS. Right now, we're gonna throw it to the analyst desk to break down the rest of that game.
Thank you, Riv. That's right, our last remaining undefeated team there in Immortals. And I love that response.
Make it look so kind of easy.
Yeah, exactly. Reignover 2 assuming I don't know what you're talking about. What? I knew we were going to win the entire time.
What was I thinking? I was thinking we're going to win the game in, like 2 minutes.
There were zero other thoughts going through my brain other than winning the game.
I think that they're actually being groomed to be champions, and they have to have this mentality. They have such a great coaching staff that keeps them kind of in high spirits and gives them a lot of mental resilience, so they're able to go into a game thinking they're going to win. And when they get behind, they know how to handle it. They don't try to save them from those situations, right? It's not like IGG and scrims. They play them all out.
Yeah, and while they make it look easy, this is a technical composition that they're running. This requires execution every single team fight, because the way that poke compositions work, when they're facing energy with this poke compositions are going to grind out this pool of gold as you transition from early to mid game with all these towers that they're going to get by grinding them out, sieging up, and then they have this extra gold lead to work with, and you have to constantly hard engage on them. If you mess up one of those team fights, and you kind of collapse because it chains a bunch of turrets after that. But Immortals, they didn't mess up a single engage. Like, they hard engage over and over and over, and they made it work every single time with, flanks from Huni on the Lissandra, flanks even from Pobelter on the Zed, and Reignover every single time on Rengar was able to get past all the pink wards and jump
building
right
that
in,
tank Rengar in order
bolas.
to be an initiator.
Exactly, and I think that their target selection was also really good as well in the team fights. They were able to initiate on the right people and not allocate too many resources to one person every time. Because if they all jump on one, there's a big problem there. And also the follow-up is, they did this with Adrian still playing Janna. I was expecting some type of engaged support,
right?
Like, yeah, this is a dive comp.
The
like,
Janna belongs on Energy's team.
Well, literally,
like, what's happening?
He did engage. He literally flashed tornado for engagement.
That's true. You're right. He's still pulling it off. He's on the same wavelength.
Like, we're engaged. Yeah. No, I got
it. And he's like, oh wait, Janna, my bad. Shield.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to run through, we can continue this discussion, but we've got a couple replays that we can help support this discussion about the technicalities between the team comps. So we're going to pull those up and roll them right out. 9 minutes, though. This is an example of Huni initiating.
This is literally the first time NRG group up for one of those sieges with their poke comp in the mid lane, and the 2 seconds they're grouped up in the mid lane.
Right.
And immediately, Huni comes down to flank. He runs through the pink ward. They still can't stop it. The only way you can stop that is if you have instant pulverize with Alistar. Like, this is why it's such a technical, composition. There are small, tiny plays that just milliseconds can make or break this team fight. Doesn't get the interrupt there with Alistar, so Huni gets right in there, initiates with the Lissandra. Reignover also jumps right in onto Altec. They have these chain CC on Altec. He can't even flash away, and it's just right from the very beginning, the first group up, they have a perfectly executed hard engage, and they do it over and over and over because it's actually pretty scary. NRG got the lane swap off. What they're trying to do is get Corki to his poke, situation where he gets post level 6, he gets his Trinity Force. They can group up and try and abuse the sieging advantage, but Immortals don't give them that opportunity. The other thing is that if they mess up one time, both of those guys would get early QSSs. Mm-hmm. If you get early QSSs, it definitely changes the situation with that mid game, but Immortals constantly executing on their hard engage.
Let's go to the top lane, second replay, 23 minutes in the game. This is the one that really blew the game open. It was an ace for Immortals plus a Baron.
Yeah, once again, Huni going in with the engage, and then he always does this. He flashes away from where the Alistar is, because Conquan's going to stand on top of the E, and then the target selection here, go after Moon, and it puts Pobelter in a great spot to follow up on GBM and pressure that back line. And I think Huni's engage is the way that he's causing so much pressure as soon as he enters the fight, and it becomes so hectic. Everybody tries to focus the Lissandra, but you have to worry about the other threats too, and it's so hard because you have to simultaneously allocate people, but you only have 2 tanks to deal with them.
Yeah.
3 people diving in.
Right.
I mean, you need all 5 pink wards spread out behind you and like a giant fan, because just one of them, Huni's like, yep, I'll see that one, just running right past it.
Run right past it. And I do, back to the original point, you were talking really briefly about the coaching staff of Immortals as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I loved their draft and seeing it come to that last pick, and they're like, we're just going to lock in Zed as well, right? Pair more all-in with our all-in. They're not playing gun-shy to the opposing team's composition. They're very aware of one of the ways they could beat it and confident that they could execute on those technicalities.
Exactly. It's confidence, it's trust, because Rengar is not a champion you see a whole lot in any LCS. And they allowed Reignover to pick it. They're like, you have full confidence in you. We're going to go with pretty much 3 dive champion shots.
Yeah. You can pick Rengar, but go full take.
And he still struggled with that scuttle crab, if I'm being
He was
real.
just getting stats. He get 5 stats.
That's true.
Right?
Got to stack it up.
I think that they definitely believe in these guys, and they empower them. It's like if they say, we want to play Rengar here, it's like, all right, I trust you, let's go do it. Yeah. So I think belief in the players is going to bring them a long way.
That being said, NRG has a very complete support staff as well, so that's why it's a cool matchup.
Right, well, and you know what? A good takeaway from the game would be that NRG also did understand their win conditions, right? Yeah. It wasn't as if they were sitting there, without a clue of what to do on the map. They made their grouping early, were looking to push on those objectives, and the 1 or 2 missteps that we saw total out of Immortals were taken advantage of in a couple turret takes in the mid lane, plus that engage in the top that netted Adrian his first death.
Yeah, and I think that looking at the 2 comps against each other once more, the Immortals composition is going to test your communication, because you're jumping all these people onto different people, and I know that NRG, they're not, I know, sorry. So you're jumping 3 people onto the back line, and NRG has to peel accordingly, and I know that there's some communication issues still with the mixed language squad. So Conquan's sitting there trying to translate at the same time.
And trying to hit this pulverize right when it comes in.
So I think it was a very good idea to run this comp.
Very much so. Well, the next question is, who is going to be the first team to bring down Immortals, if at all? But coming up, we'll be bringing you Game 3 with CLG and Cloud9 looking to fight their way up the standings. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2016 Spring Split.
Of the 2-3-0 teams, one will get their first loss here. Will it be NRG? Will it be Immortals? Here we go into the game. This is going to be a big one. Huni goes right in, takes a bunch of damage, saves the ult for just now. And here goes the team. Altec is going to be first blood in this game. But in the back line, Pobelter dies.
Does he have flash?
Nidalee!
I'm on Nidalee.
I'm
Go on Nidalee.
Nice.
They're gonna pick up 2. It's a double for Pobelter. He's now on to GBM. He wants more. He's thirsty for blood while Turtle finds the 3rd. Pobelter is still alive. Impact though, he's gonna live as well. And that's a big stun. Here comes the follow-up. Now do Energy have it? Pobelter wants in. He goes for the backline. QSS are down. He's gonna push in. He's already picked up GBM. And Immortals will take it home. They are North America's last undefeated team.